Lelo bwacha bakamba mukyalo kyesu kya Zambia ekyaweka enjoy. Abantu bafa bakamba kule kumunfumbwe. More than 20 people balebe pati ni babiri. Bagamba. Fish to arufyanye. People have died. Mumino yabaka pakola. The police killing people. Why? In the same government bagamba. Abductions have happened. Bagamba. If you're not with them, it's either you're dead or you're in prison. This government, yagwa change big man. Fish to arufyanya pakubika office. Fish to arufyanya. Why me? Missing. Achani ruba mwaicho and dishonor. Where is why me? HH, tell us with your government, where is why me? Give us why me. Justice for why me, big man. Wachila mo HH. Wala tupwisha bega kutupwisha bagamba. Katwale kya kulanda big man. My youth. Maina watata. Sambe tuwasevana. Bagamba. Wanesa tuwapweni. Mujalo chesu. Ichi ya Zambia. Tuamona mwepwa. Bagamba. Tuamona mwepwa. Nama abductions bagamba. Ubuteko tuwaleta. Wadulete lama. Amazala mush. No you can take her. Wala ipompa tudeka. No you can take her. Apa nomba bane. Mufulo pa mufulo. Mufulo pa mufulo. Wakuvota bane. Mufulo pa mufulo. Mufulo pa mufulo. Wakufuatika. Mufulo pa mufulo. Mufulo pa mufulo. Wakufuatika fuatika. Mufulo pa mufulo. Mufulo pa mufulo. Wenyu tayakwa fwe. Mufulo pa mufulo. Mufulo pa mufulo. Aikona man. Mufulo pa mufulo. Mufulo pa mufulo. Itayakwa fwe. Mufulo pa mufulo. Mufulo pa mufulo. Yakuliati kwenyu. Mufulo pa mufulo. Mufulo pa mufulo. Mayona batata. Mayona batata. Bayuthi. Tentwisuli amenso. Tentwisuli amenso. Batusendela nomba batwipaila na hope Yesu. Endika chagwa lungu watubela tinani mikwatila plan B. Nomba tuwalishiba plan B abamumino ya kualesa. Bantu banga abalafu mukyalo kyesu kya Zambia. Nibanga abantu abala abducted mukyalo kyesu kya Zambia. Bambire kuli jeje banda. Nibanga abantu abala ba mu prison. Abena kitotela kilangwa. Boze baba prison n'entungulu kina shimbi. Muri one government yagwa HH. Abantu n'abafa mweleza. Aikata nomba baikata kuli endika kyagwa lungu atukwatire plan B. Abakubo byabyo mufulo big man. Mufulo pa mufulo. Bilabine batsendela endika kyagwa lungu. Abanomba bane. Mufulo pa mufulo. Mufulo pa mufulo. Wakuvota bane. Mufulo pa mufulo. Mufulo pa mufulo. Wakufuatika. Mufulo pa mufulo. Mufulo pa mufulo. Wakufuatika fuatika. Mufulo pa mufulo. Mufulo pa mufulo. Wenyu tayakwa fwe. Mufulo pa mufulo. Mufulo pa mufulo. Aikona man. Mufulo pa mufulo. Mufulo pa mufulo. Itayakwa fwe. Mufulo pa mufulo. Mufulo pa mufulo. Yakuliati kwenyu. Mufulo pa mufulo. Mufulo pa mufulo. HH does not mean well for Mother Zambia. Zambia to Asebana, this is not the Mother Zambia that we were left with by our ancestors, our forefathers who fought so hard to liberate us. Dr. Kenneth Kaunda, Nalumino Mundia, Mama Julia Chikamoneka, Simon Mwansaka Pwepwe, they fought so hard to put this country on the map, to put this country where it is today. No man would destroy this country because we believe in unity.
Okay, zikomo. I think the truth, Vazona, the ground is not okay, but for now there is nothing we can do. Our main interest is to see Mr. Hakainde Hichilema elected again. Otherwise, Ngatisiwa Zankara elected in Tankara problems. Some of us, I think it's been long pentinambo kukuza na tipa ground is pali bwino. I think like myself, there is nothing that I'm benefiting from the party. But the only thing that I can say that I'm benefiting in freedom yamene tili nayo as for now, which is good. Kusaidi kuline. There is nothing that I'm benefiting apart from the freedom that we have right now. But when we tell you that the ground is not okay, kambiri imwe wakuru matichita avoid. Issue wa president was Ankara affected vazona. Mark my words. Muyanganisise chabe ma scores ya mene benzo scoring at mu 2016 na ma scores ya mene ya Ankara po this time around. Guys, you tell me ngati bazakapitiliza in some of these district mwamene sibana chite adopt bantu bamene bali pa ground. I'll give you a bow. Nizaka kupasani bow ngati ni ndani wewe wamene akambati bazakapitiliza paja. So bazakapitiliza this time my numbers ya Zankara Kolo. So we have to work extra hard my district yamene yali affected. The part yenekero 7 are extra hard. Otherwise it's not my wish. It's not my wish kuti nikaona ati maybe wa president wa fancy, but my wish is to see him so that we continue with this same peace we have for now. But kufunika che kusebenzera hapo chena mpavu, not kuchita avoid not.
Hello, dear viewers and listeners. Welcome to today's program. Today we are discussing the development by State House, where they've announced that the public gathering bill, which many Zambians rejected, has been referred back to Parliament, obviously to a future Parliament, because there's no currently any Parliament. This colonial piece of legislation has been a menace to Zambians for many years. From 1964, President Kenneth David Kaunda pledged that he would repeal the law. It's a 1955 piece of legislation, and he said it was oppressing our people, restricting movement of our people. Our people couldn't gather, couldn't protest, couldn't picket. It criminalized any form of protest. Dr. Kaunda didn't. In fact, weaponized it in 1973 when we became a one-party state. And what you see now as a Public Order Act emanates from that transformation from a 1956 law amended in the 70s. When democracy came, of course, President Kaunda just changed Article 4 of our Republican Constitution. Article 4, yes, which had outlawed all political parties. So that amendment allowed for other political parties to exist. But we never truly reformed our constitution to overturn it from an autocratic one-party style, and also colonial, because it had a lot of colonial overhang from the 1964 law. It was never totally reformed. Our constitution was never totally reformed. We've always dealt with the urgent matter. What's the urgent matter? In 1990, it was an issue regarding the return to multi-party democracy. Zambia had been a multi-party democracy between 1964. Between colonial times, we had political parties, various political parties. Of course, they were restricted, where you couldn't allow one man, one vote. But when the changes came, Zambia had always been a multi-party state. In 1968, we went to an election, 1963, 1968, as a multi-party state. The elections of 1973 were, however, thwarted when Dr. Kaunda outlawed all other political parties, ANC, UPP, UP, all political parties that were existing. They signed what is called the Choma Declaration to incorporate the largest political party at the time, ANC, into UNIP. And hence, we became a one-party, literally autocratic state. My dear brother, David from Mongu, he always says it was a one-party participatory democracy, and he doesn't want to accept the evils of the one-party state, but that's an argument for another day. So 1991, we became a democratic state, multi-party democratic state. And this law, the Public Order Act, was put to test. Dr. Kenneth David Kaunda decided to return to Mau Party came from retirement as a former president, removed, there were changes in UNIP. I think Kebi Musokotwane was the one that carried the party forward. Then Mr. Nkoma, former Bank of Zambia governor. And then there was that Namayane conference that returned Dr. Kaunda in 1995 back as UNIP president and presidential candidate for the 1996 elections. He was holding one of his rallies in Chongwe, and they were arrested. The lawyer then, Christine Mulundika, who was a member of the Central Committee who had convened that meeting, decided to challenge the arrest. They were arrested. So instead of submitting to the criminal prosecution, they challenged the very law on which they were arrested on, and it went up to Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court expunged it from our statute that such a law that impedes on freedom of expression, freedom to gather, freedom to hold political rallies, civil and political rights, are enshrined by the United Nations Universal Declarations of Human Rights. It's a fundamental law that even founded the United Nations, passed in 1948. So our Supreme Court outlawed it. They said this Public Order Act is so out of place, it's not supposed to exist on our statutes. But as usual, governments panic. So the government of President Frederick Chiluba panicked and immediately looked at the findings of the Supreme Court, and instead of abiding, decided to amend the law, claiming that it was yielding to the sentiments of the Supreme Court. So the Public Order Act again was back on our books. In this case, one of the fundamental changes was on the notice. In the past, you needed to give a notice of 7 days, 14 days, 21 days, depending on the nature of the issue. And the police would then grant you that permission. So that issue of permission was removed from the Public Order Act. It was replaced with a notice of minimum 7 days. But as you know, the police began to treat the request for a notice, not a request, the notification. The police began to treat the notification as a request for permission. And since 1995, even if the law says you are just supposed to notify the police, and if the police have any concerns, you're supposed to sit with the police and agree on stewards of the gathering who will help the police in case they do not have manpower. The police turned that issue back into the illegal notice that had been outlawed. So you saw that even when we inform the police, give them 7 days notice, they decline your notice. Who declines the notice? Only oppressive regimes. So we've never allowed the law, even in its current format, to exist. You saw that from 2010, 2011, especially Nordic countries, funded especially singular reforms around access to information bill and around the Public Order Act. These were singular in nature. They thought that they will enhance democracy. Instead of looking at the wide-ranging laws that should be repealed, they focused on some of these laws, including the Children's Act, and they've been heavily funded in the last 15 years. So it was a shame to see a law designed to repeal the Public Order Act, which was repressive, oppressive, that was unconstitutional, that was taking away our rights to freedom of expression, freedom of thought, freedom to gather, freedom to protest, became worse. Here on this forum, we alerted you that the public gathering bill is extremely oppressive, worse than the colonial peace from 1955. President Hakainde Hichilema had weaponized this law into something else, just like he did with the Cyber Crimes and Cybersecurity Act. Laws designed to enhance cybersecurity and protect you from especially internet scammers, was overturned. They imported speech offenses into a law designed to curb cyber crimes and cybersecurity, which have nothing to do with public expression. This is what they converted the law. So similarly, President Hakainde Hichilema turned the Public Gathering Bill, a progressive law meant to replace the Public Order Act, into something more oppressive than the colonial peace. So today when the announcement came from State House, we were all rather shocked. Where is the pressure coming from other than from the public? The public have been insistent that Bill 7, cyber crimes, cybersecurity, have nothing to do with cybersecurity and cyber crimes. Instead, they've imported speech offenses into those pieces of legislation and making them freedom of expression offenders, literally. The laws that are meant to protect you from cyber crimes and provide cybersecurity, encourage your right to privacy, have instead been turned into, like I'm saying, offenses against speech. Totally, the intention is different from the titles, you know. Access to information bill, useless. Nothing happens. You can never get any information using that law. We continue to get information privately, through leaks, through whistleblowers, even when there's access to information. Because first, it's an untested law. They've never allowed it to work properly. And some people are already calling, is the volume okay? You know, sometimes these cause disrupt our thoughts and our thoughts pattern. Is the volume okay? Let me just check. But my monitor shows that the volume is okay. And let me just check. Is there anything else other than the volume? I've seen 2-3 calls. Just tell me where you are watching us from. Is the volume okay? So that we continue to speak. Yeah. Let me just check. Yeah. Yeah, thank you very much. So we are discussing the Public Gathering Bill that State House informs us that President Hakainde Hichilema has turned back to Parliament, of course to a future Parliament, because there is no Parliament. It's one of the 3rd, 4th, 5th bills that have been sent to Parliament. What is wrong currently with the manner in which President Hakainde Hichilema is dealing with matters of the law and legislation? He's not putting them through the established channels. There is a consultative process that takes place before you see the bill before Parliament. He has short-circuited those processes. As you saw, he brought up to 74 new bills to be passed into law. Some of them, we've never seen them before, never consulted anyone, and he just dumps them before Parliament. The Public Gathering Bill, the shock is that there's been extensive work, and the drafts people should know that this law is meant to reform the Public Order Act, not make worse the Public Order Act. And which brings us to the question. Last week, the police commissioner, and let me look for that video, the police commissioner from Southern Province, Mr. Mono, has banned any political meeting, any public meeting, any gathering in Mazabuka where Gary Nkombo is standing as an independent and has caused them so much trouble. He cited Section 9 of the Public Gathering Act as the basis for which he was doing that. So how can a police commissioner, using a law that has not been signed into law, ban public gatherings? It simply means here 2 things. Either the police commissioner misconducted himself. That would be one. Number 2 is that, remember, there are 74 bills that were passed into law. President Hakainde Hichilema last week held a ceremony for only 5 bills, only 5. What has happened to the 69? And of the 5 bills, the Electoral Process Act is not among them. The Public Gathering Bill is not among them. So how is ECZ using a law which to our knowledge has not been signed by the president? How is the police using the Public Gathering Law, which again we are not aware if it's been signed? If you remember, out of 74 bills, President Hakainde Hichilema just celebrated 5 of those 74 bills as the one he passed into law. You and I have to ask, so how did the police ban public gathering using a law that doesn't exist? Is that process illegal itself? Or did President Hakainde Hichilema sign this into law? And looking at the backlash, especially from the cooperating partners that have been funding reforms to some of these laws, looking at the outright rejection is received from LAS, NGOCC, and all of us that have been speaking on this matter. And the law that he had probably signed secretly, he has just withdrawn it and said he didn't sign it and he's sending it to Parliament. What are your views on that? Clearly, that law is an oppressive law in the manner that they attend it, and it was taking Zambia back to the colonial era. Let me look for the police commissioner on record banning the procession in Mazabuka. Just give me a moment.
Hakainde watondeka nadi, 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 Hakainde watondeka nadi. Hakainde watitonda nadi, nchito ni kuyoboya waka, vila izgo vyose vya waka waka, kusuzgika kwa kura mwe bantu mwe nadi nadi. Hakainde watondeka nadi, watondeka. 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 Hakainde watondeka nadi, watondeka.
Southern Province Police Commanding Officer Mono Namalongo has since invoked Section 9 of the Public Gatherings Act of 2026.
For now, gatherings of such nature are suspended until further notice. We will remain in Mazabuka to continue assessing the security situation. Police is allowed by the law to suspend such gatherings in situations where public safety is in danger. Here in Mazabuka,
Southern Province Police Commanding Officer Mono Namalongo has since invoked Section 9 of the Public Gatherings Act of 2026.
for now, gatherings of such nature are suspended.
I now request that we
I've decided to come here to appreciate the vision of our able president, whose vision tells us that the country is now going on the right direction than it was before. I won't be ashamed to mention that, than it was before. Even those who hate you, deep bottom of their hearts, they know the president, the Republican president, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, is doing fine. He has got the best vision so far, which we need to support. Deep bottom of their hearts, they know the president, the Republican president, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, is doing fine. He has got the best vision so far, which we need to support. We have to support his vision. No.
That's your police Deputy Inspector General of Police urging police officers to support the candidature of President Hakainde Hichilema. So, and you saw the police commissioner from Southern Province citing the Public Gatherings Act of 2026, Section 9, even went to the actual section, meaning the police were given that law to implement. And today we've learned that the president has withdrawn it, and we're supposed to cheer on at his listening president that the president yields to public pressure. No, he doesn't. If he did, he would have consulted first. You don't go head on. Remember the issues of Bill 7, same issue. Either people around the president do not want to take time to run the president through how government structures work, even if there's something he genuinely wants. Unfortunately, there's a structure guided by the Constitution, by our laws and regulations, and he ought to follow. But this was his intention. And you've seen the behavior of the police. Instead of reforming the police, he has made it more oppressive. There's another matter I want to bring to your attention, a very sad matter. There was a rally in Kabwe by the National Reconciliation Party for Unity and Prosperity, and Patrick Chala, the candidate. You know that's a special purpose vehicle for both Tonse and Pamosi Alliance, especially at presidential level. The National Reconciliation Party for Unity and Prosperity, they held a public rally. Now, there's a notorious thug. This thug was involved in the beating of former acting president of Patriotic Front, Given Lubinda. Remember, they abducted him and beat him, humiliated him before they dumped him at the police. And so there is a notorious thug, James Tolle, who led the assault on this public rally. They damaged the PA system, damaged the speaker, destroyed the amplifier, and beat up people that were manning the rally. And unfortunately, this is a worst victim. His eye was plucked out by James Tolle. James Tolle is a notorious UPND thug in Kabwe, the one who's wearing a vest in the two party cadres in Kabwe. James Tolle has been involved in every crime in Kabwe against the opposition in Kabwe. And sadly, the police keep on releasing here we have an innocent victim whose eye was plucked out by James Tolle. And the police have not arrested James Tolle. In fact, instead of arresting James Tolle, they have arrested Wilson Pondamali, our mayor, aspirant mayor for Kabwe, who went to report from his witness account, because him and Patrick Chala, former mayor, were holding this public rally when James Tolle led a team of thugs who then ransacked the place, beat up the people, and destroyed the musical equipment. And then you have the police in Lusaka arresting PF cadres, most of them security for both Brian and Makebi Zulu, on allegation that they were involved in destroying Ebongandu's campaign center and that it is armed robbery. But they will not arrest thugs like this, who has plucked out an eye of a victim in Kabwe. And this is a selective approach of the law that has raised all these concerns for many people, that they are using the law to punish the opposition. You have seen the protest in Chawama. Who occasioned those protests? Who led the assault if it were not for the UPND? Let me look for the Chawama video so that we can... first, this is Gary Nkombo, but let me look for... You can clearly see the aggressors were UPND in this. They tried to stop the convoy of Makebi Zulu and Munduvile, stoned it and advanced. Even after Munduvile and Makebi passed later safely, this group went to the campaign center for our candidate in Chawama and destroyed the office, stoned his office. But they've never, the police have not arrested anyone, both the aggressors and those that stoned the public, the campaign center for the Chawama candidate, Bright Nundwe. But what have they done? They allege that the campaign center for Ebongandwe, engineer Ebongandwe, was ransacked, and they now picked this security team for Makebi Zulu yesterday and Brian Munduvile, alleging that they were involved in the ransacking of Ebongandwe's campaign center. And they are charging them with armed robbery, What is the purpose? The purpose is to take away the security for Makebi. And armed robbery is non-bailable. So they'll be in prison during the entire process, like they've done to Xavier Chungu. Xavier Chungu, they've locked him away. They're accusing Xavier Chungu of a lot of things. There were security meetings that we are aware of. Remember, the president called for the National Joint Operations Committee meeting. He later called for a meeting where he combined the National Joint Operations Committee with the former service chiefs. We know what went into those meetings. The president is paranoid. He's extremely paranoid. He's seeing things that are not happening. And here, they've stripped off the security of Makebi and Munduvile, given them false charges, like they've done with Xavier Chungu. Get him. This man has a lot of information. He might be interacting with former security chiefs. Lock him away. You will not see Xavier Chungu come out of prison. Even when he gets bail, already has bail, they slapped in fresh charges, you will see that they will not release him. That's your government that you should consider if you are voting it again, you vote it again. Someone says, give us a remarks of Ngao Sampa and Charity Katongo. I don't think they are with it. I think I want to Shiba what they want. Whatever they said at the funeral, you watched it. I don't have to replay their videos, and I'm not going to look at their videos. I think it's not... our people now know they can judge the principled people, those that are standing by principle, and those that we should just consider that, these are part of the people we should leave behind in our future politics. I'll be opening the phone lines. We are discussing the decision by the president, public gathering bill. He says he has rejected it. He says it's against public interest. Well, if he had gone through the law in the manner that laws are enacted, he would have known that in the manner he fashioned the public gathering bill, it was against public interest. This is a well-funded law. It has received a lot of consultation. We should have obtained the best bill out of it, especially that it has received workshops and meetings and meetings. The second one is a violence that has broken out in Chawama, in Kabwe, where we have that scenario. And in Chipata, the police had been trying to massage the facts after they were embarrassed at a number of dignitaries that were at Protea. I've seen a lot of stories flying around that Hichilema owns Protea. I never discuss those issues. If he owns Protea, that is his business. But Brian Munduvile and Makebi Zulu had booked the premises and they were supposed to be there. And there was no need to evict them. And the police are trying to justify that they only went for those people wanted in the Chawama debacle. A matter we've demonstrated that if the police are going for offenders of the law, their primary people they should go for are UPND, who occasioned the stoning, attempted to disrupt the convoy for the Tonse Pamosi Alliance leaders, went to Bright Nundwe's campaign center, ransacked it, stoned it, and destroyed it. What more should the police be looking for? They have only taken one testimony of Ebong Andu's premises. In retaliation, some people could have gone there to damage the same thing after they saw that their leaders were stoned, their leaders' campaign center was destroyed. There could have been retaliatory. I don't know what happened at Ebong Andu's campaign center. But clearly, if the police ought to act, they should have acted fairly, not in the manner that they've acted. I'll speak briefly about our colleagues that were in Chipata. You know, there were a lot of dignitaries from Malawi, from Mozambique, from Tanzania, and the highest delegation came from KwaZulu-Natal in South Africa. Remember, the Ngonis are part of the Zulu nation, and they've always stressed their language, culture, everything. And Zwangendaba led the delegation, was a warrior in the Zulu nation, and after they differed with Shaka, or fearing Shaka's attacks, decided to lead his people, especially his battalion of warriors, into Zambia. Some settled finally into Zambia. Others proceeded to Malawi. The first group went up to Tanzania. So you have them spread from Zimbabwe, wherever they were passing. In Mozambique, you have some people. Tanzania, they went up to Sumbawanga, returned. Remember, Zwangendaba was even buried at Waitwika village. A lot of people didn't know why the Ngonis left a decree and an agreement with Waitwika that, please, this man who has died is very important in our nation. Please keep this burial site safe. And that burial site has been guarded since Zwangendaba died. And of course, they ended up settling in Chipata, but some of the brothers, Tumpezeni, proceeded to Malawi, and Imberwa right to the northern part of Malawi. Some remained in central Malawi and others up to the top. So the biggest delegation came from KwaZulu-Natal. The new king there, Misuzulu Kazwelithini, sent a delegation led by His Majesty, who is Prince Tulani Kagikazi Kia Solomon, and who was the royal culture and the royal cultural and economic envoy Malusi Zondi, and other people. And there was, we understand they were at Protea and they witnessed these barbaric acts by the Zambia police, where they were looking for Brian and Makebi, and evicted them on the pretext that they were looking for these cadres. Okay, let us assume they were looking for these cadres. Why follow them up to Chipata? Why follow them up to Chipata? Why not issue call-outs in Lusaka? They live in Lusaka. The Chawama mat happened last week. What was the urgency? We know you were given instructions to remove Makebi and Mundubile out of Chipata. And that's what you did. You just didn't arrest their security team. You've now fabricated charges against them. And now you even sent them. We are glad that they arrived safely and they're in Lusaka safely. But this conducted by the police, you know, to embarrass opposition leaders, I don't know when it will come to an end. Then the famous chair. These are side issues. These are what I call JJ's issues. They were fish wa JJ. The fishimba fia wo JJ area sha issue JJ. But the story of the chair. What is the chair? I have something to say because I saw a reaction by Oliver Chalala. I've seen comments by PS Teta Mashimba. I've seen even Professor, Habazoka, Lubindabazoka, even offer an explanatory false lie. All lies are false. False narrative that a chair is always carried by the president from State House. Come on, Balubinda. I think let's remain with the economic matters. I think that's where you are best. Do not expose your ignorance in that fashion. You are a dear brother of ours, and we want to remain respectful to you. But that's the story of the chair. I'll tell you briefly.
I now request that we be upstanding as the President of the Republic. I now request that we be upstanding as the President of the Republic.
So I became aware of this allegation around the chair. In 2022, colleagues of mine came from the African Union. You remember in 2022, Zambia was hosting some of the biggest summits. One was the African Union Mid-Year Coordination Meeting that was held in July. And it was held at Kenneth Kaunda International Conference. So some of my fellow ambassadors, remember it was just 6 months after I had come back from Addis Ababa. So most of the serving ambassadors came because this was a mid-year summit. It's as big as the February summit itself. So the mid-year coordination meeting reviews summit decisions midway in the year, so that by the time you're coming to an end, you'll have implemented what you had decided. So the colleagues in protocol, just over dinner, had a very funny story, because Mulungushi International Conference has its own furniture and its own chairs, and they were shocked that the people from State House were insisting that the President Hichilema should sit on a special chair they were going to bring. And even when they brought the chair, it was odd. Mulungushi has its own furniture, uniform furniture, and the chair stood out. I don't know whether it was too low or it was just different from the furniture that is at Mulungushi. And that's the first time I became aware of this issue of the chair. I've known that every time he visits, when he visited the Cathedral of Child Jesus, I think that was 2023, the issue of the chair came up because his security team of his decided where will the holding room be. They changed the room, they brought the chair. That was the second time I was hearing about the issue of the chair. And the embarrassment here, if you look at this issue,
I now request that we be upstanding as the President of...
The chair is very well guarded. Probably they should have two chairs. The embarrassment and why it was captured, they seem to have one chair. Remember the president had an earlier gathering, and then the burial site. These were two places. So in between, they seem to have been shifting the chair. And that's why I said the issue of the chair is in the realm of the discussion held by my dear brother, JJ Banda. He has his own stories, and you cannot take away anything from JJ Banda. He experienced it. They abducted him. They did awful things to JJ, including the sodomy issue. These are very evil people. And he has his own story. And Zambians are fascinated by the story that JJ speaks. So I'll leave the story of the chair because it forms in the realm of superstition and how these modern educated men with master's degree from UK appear to be steeped into issues of satanism, occultism, witchcraft, these superstitious issues that have gripped our country that probably were being led by evil people. And that's why there's been so much story. And that's why there's an attempt to demystify this by people like Oliver Shalala and Dr. Lubindaba Zoka, claiming that the chair is picked from State House. No, that's not true. That's not true. In fact, presidents that are smart don't even carry their water. But the way they drink the water or the way they pick the food, they are basic things. You know, the way they'll pick the plate, you still can eat publicly without endangering your security. Because if you carry your own water, if, like it is in many plots against the president, it's among his trusted circle, where you have to build trust around him for something like that to happen. So people that are even clever never even use carry water or food, because that becomes immediately a source of concern and contamination. Because if anyone has any plot or plan against the president, the target will be the people around him. That's why they give us simple things like don't allow a la carte, you know, where they serve you the food. Go to the buffet. Rise with your ADC or yourself. Go and pick the food like everyone else. They can't poison the entire conference. You know, if it's water, just check that they're not serving you one particular bottle of water, or if it's from, ask them to bring a variety, ask them to bring water, Coca-Cola, and orange. They don't know what you pick and you pick. Anyway, there are issues in how the presidents and any VIP can secure themselves. If you are sending each Punachowe is not one of them anyway. And like I said, I'll leave that to JJ. We'll be opening the phone lines. Let's hear your contributions and your views.
Once death strikes, our next obligation is to bury the dead with dignity, as we're doing here with Nkosi Amankos Mpezeni 4, Ngwenyama. Our duty is to bury with dignity. Then we'll have given decency to the dead, as per our customs, our culture, or indeed the Christian values. And I want to say that this applies, Bishop Lungu, to our 6th president, who we lost. It is our duty to bury him with the military protocols. He was commander-in-chief of our country. And I agree with you, we must all work together to bury our 6th president with dignity in the military style yesterday.
Southern Province Police Commanding Officer Mono Namalongo has since invoked Section 9 of the Public Gatherings Act of 2026.
For now, gatherings of such nature are suspended until further notice. We will remain in Mazabuka to continue assessing the security situation. Police is allowed by the law to suspend such gatherings in situations where public safety is in danger. Here in Mazabuka,
Southern Province Police Commanding Officer Mono Namalongo has since invoked Section 9 of the Public Gatherings Act of 2026.
For now, gatherings of such nature are suspended until further notice. We will remain in Mazabuka to continue assessing the security situation. Police is allowed by the law to suspend such gatherings in situations where public safety is in danger.
If it's a felt need of the family, for example, that the president should not personally be in attendance. So what do we, why not delegate? Why not delegate? Why not delegate? Yes, it's awkward, but unusual situations, unusual circumstances may demand unusual responses. And it will appear, the problem that we have as human beings is that we think they now would have lost, then they have won. But sometimes backing down and then allowing certain things to happen may not necessarily be a loss. It could be actually a sign that you are greater than the other because you are ready to, to back down and give way, and for the sake of the greater good of the country.
I'm trying to make a Katogo Banda. The genuine PF from 2001 to today when I'm now in the alliance. Awana nikuse na papata PF in UPND. Uri wase ukafanya exchange cha PF masquerading and PF. Chitecha wonderful wakapora. Because there are a lot of alliances here, but as PF, the owners of PF, not Wisako Alliance IPND. And nobody should ask me, or I don't owe anybody an apology. And moreover, he never President HH, so I know very well was a party. PF, long time ago when we were in the opposition. But our we support Chilino Chavasada, whatever I introduce. I'm trying to make a Katogo Banda. The genuine PF from 2001 to today when I'm now in the alliance. Awana nikuse na papata PF in UPND. Uri wase ukafanya exchange cha PF masquerading and PF. Chitecha wonderful wakapora. Because there are a lot of alliances here, but as PF, the owners of PF, not Wisako Alliance IPND. And nobody should ask me, or I don't owe anybody an apology. And moreover, he never President HH, so I know very well was a party. PF, long time ago when we were in the opposition. But our we support Chilino Chavasada, whatever I introduce.
Hello, caller.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Yes, this is Davis. I'm calling from Kasama.
Wonderful.
Province.
Make your contribution.
Yes. Yes, my contribution tonight on all the issues that has happened is that Mr. Hakainde Hichilema is not a trustworthy man. He has always been a double-tongued man. Look, if I can remember very well, you remember the issue of the protest against Madam Sioni, the DPP. When that protest was led by UPND cadres, I think one of them was Pilato, who is a PS today. The president had held a press briefing, and he promised the Zambian people that he's going to protect all whistleblowers. But after a wrong line, when Munia Zulu did whistleblow against the finance minister and the other minister, the president turned around and he himself instructed those two to sue Munia Zulu, and we all know what happened about Munia Zulu. So with that, this president of ours is not trustworthy. just like KBF, I don't know if it is today, said on an interview, our president is a bigger liar. And I don't know how I can express myself, but he's somebody I can align with what the Bible says about Satan, to say he comes to deceive, to steal, and to kill. This is the current situation that Zambians have put themselves into, or we have put ourselves into, or we have found ourselves into.
Hello, we can hear you.
Party, yes, by a party which can cheat. Afterwards, it turns around and starts showing itself like an angel. I don't know, but I'm suspicious. My suspicions are that even when they were in opposition, when they flagged off the issue of watermelon as one of their campaign.
Uh-oh, your line is breaking, my brother.
And this is the very thing. All right. I'm saying, ababantu, if you remember, baleranda bati bali kweteria simbwati watermelon.
Yes.
As they were campaigning, they used to use that issue of watermelon. By then, they were playing as victimizers, using the PF regalia, and victims using the UPND regalia. This is the very thing they have brought when they are ruling now. What they are doing is that when they attack, they are the victimizers. But once they assault or they do anything wrong, they will play as victims at the end of the day by arresting those they have victimized. But we, the Zambian people,
the line keeps on cutting. Maybe let's give another person another chance. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from and make your contribution. Twabomba bane mwabombashani. You are live. Make your contributions.
Icha first na chinapo kulanda ko bamwamba ine ni mfurwa sana bambuya besu aba kuchipata badi ne chiriro aba ili abantu bali ne chiriro tatufire turi amukure twara kurio kana chindika info yaba mpezeni noke amkuma abantu fira pa chiriro awe uri omuntu wa president bakwata wakwe bati era mwisho babo pa chiriro chaba Edgar Lungu ati I'll sort you out after burial fileta bafuire bare chita ngabade chitafiri pamfo ya mfumu kuchita disrespect abantu aba kuchipate mumusango mubi sana, and being the president should distance himself from very arrest tikeva kwa mkuma abantu pachiro, because baraba rumendo lwaba chiteve ambush kuchawama kuri ba UPND. We are all aware what happened there, and it is not in order for the whole people, because bamona ati abantu bali kuchipata bafula okuchira abantu babo twalebe bati ba president opposition yoko yava bale makwati bali pa opposition nomba ndemye ba makebi na mundubire nalenga ba HH lero bale chitaba campaign 4 times in a day. So lero bachibanda pressure baisa kukabwe tafya chibomba babutukira kurusaka na kwena tafya chibomba ndemye babambe vyo kulonga garake na kapuna kabo bambe ko baredu kulonga garaka puna kabo ko barepunda ati bali kala pampando bakaze nde wino kala kina kapuna kabo ko baikala pampando bale yanomba paniste akuya
Thank you very much. Thank you. Let's pick other calls. Thank you. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from and make your contribution. Hello, caller. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from. Let's go to the other caller. The other caller, I asked you to call back. Let me pick this other call. Mkwai, I think in Munkonge. Yes, Mr. Munkonge, make your contribution.
Mkwai, amwabombeni ambassador.
Iyo twabomba sale tupala.
Mkwai ale mipala sana ambassador. Ine ndeto telefone sale bomba. Kaili akonkanye poko bomba. Kaili molesanga ale bomba. Kumenzo Yesu. Fira fya kukalipwa pozu kubomba kwa lesa. Kwali woko apuramu. Namumona ambassador apata muraisa. Namumona leso fyale emyafwa ukula afunye efisoso mu PF file fyashupile basata fyasashupa na balungu nombalesa pale alefunya mu efyani bantu alefu okweba tinshitaka kitali stop PF ikashale ni PF ya mutendeka ili yachibote okulingana na vision ya kwete basata ichocho ndeto terapa ndifile kitika abantu bambibena balefulwa nombalesa alelete fintu pabwero nokulanga ichechiranga fyapa butatutu kweba ti ba ambassador mwe bali mu PF abatunturu mwali mu bwafya sana mwali ne filwani mwali na bakabwalala abakweba ti balengana bena Zambia ko tufikire nombalesa waruse panto ale basebanya ifuta to asakamane bakonkanye po fyokura monekera no kuiririra pantora tuishibo kweba ti preparation ale titalese yakura sokorola abantu abakubanga ba mausampa okubika pona banabo yonse group ba charity ba mayabo kirifye wino because alefu anomba papanta istule abantu bakara monekera ku kyalo bakareba abantu abakweba ti bashana history mumoni ambassador fe mwabombo kufuma muri bachiruba kwisa Afrika lero mwali bombe fintu ifukuru efe kirefu ayiko nomba abantu ababanga emwe bafula necharo cha Zambia chikaye pantanshi ndeto tera sana pantu kumaka Yesu ababantu ngatatu abantu kuire so efine baleya kirifye icha mutende eryo chimbi ba ambassador inecho ndeko sire chakufuna pali inonshita ubu teko bulipo bwalifika sana palasti so fo bena Zambia nomba pano tufikire ni palasti minutes nipakuma penalty sentumo niyo foto wala ma penalty uko apa kwa fa ba mundubire na ba makepi zuru elio le fine fya mali gali ana ngutafire moneka kubika pona makampeni ngatale moneka ture itotosha kuma chechi kuma chito Yesu na mumona babantu fyo bachitiri aba pako batira te yakwa mukuvota ngato avota na tuishi batiresa arrest listo na tumona nabere ku left nabere ku right neri obuteko bukabapona bonse ba Brian Mundubire aba makepi zuru kibe kirangiriro mumoni abantu abale bombana barungu baba bomfeshe mumoni ofyo baba kitaba bakana mumfwa baba kenena mukulwala so kifire cyaba kirangiriro kikurupali imwe mwashe no kula bomba ko mumonetira mpera typical example wa mwamba pako bati babe mu politics ngaba mirondorora ni ntunguru shisha bakitira identify ngamwasasa ngaba mama bankanduru pako bati babe mu politics ni ntunguru shia kulinga ngabachiruwe abakitira identify waroresho ko bati umayo alibo abilingana kumbafu ya bumi babengisha mu politics so na pano tufikire ba Brian Mundubire na ba makepi zuru enshita nomba iya kuchita pranti abantu abakubombere cyaro mwambo kurafunya mezo no kumuraba bamufutu fya pusana enshita yakuba joinisha mu politics bamwambale sa pale panturinjishiba iri mukara iso kufuma ko America mukasangalesa nami wa mishenchende na wonse bali abakwe basita balingire ko bani ba PF nabo mwana baliya so le milimo yenu ikabomba fye bwino tule rombera ko fe ntunguru shishiye so panshiru maboko ya kwalesa tule pepe inshitane inshita ama pepo yarafika panga ndopo wikeringa wa pepera ko ba makepi zuru wa pepera ko ba Mundubire yarafika ya mapepo lesaro mfwa so pali ino istaifu kuitura kuliresa lekeni bashiraini na bena bashitamano ya bushiraini bare mona kwa tirimbi basampebe ngatwara amapepa ya PF kushiraini aho yalishara pantu mupasho wabasata na barungu barekeni bare murekera ku cyaro na totera mukwaye.
Thank you very much. Let's go to the next caller. Hello caller, please tell us your name and where you're calling us from and make your contribution.
Daniel from Cape Town.
Daniel from Cape Town, make your contribution.
My contribution contribution starts with the first caller who talked about the strategies of the UPND of saying green on the outside and red in the inside. The one that they used the time they were campaigning in 2021. So abantu vale bonfya imingara twesha kwati vale fuara t-shirt ya PF kuma abantu, which to an extent even now I fail to believe that Yakatarism came from the PF because it had no source where it was coming from. That's why it was difficult to trace where it was coming from. VaHH batemukuvofya endaramo okulipira abantu kwati vale ekitokula bama MPs kuyano pause. So my call to the Tonse Alliance and the Pamozi, let's refrain from violence because they were bala to push. Let's avoid the campaign altercations na UPND. We try as much as possible. Like I was happy to see that video where the president himself, his motorcade, was given respect by Honorable Munduvile and Honorable Makebi. They stopped for him to pass. So those are the behaviors we should emulate because you try to defend yourselves by Kataba PF or Pamozi Alliance. So all Zambians, we can do campaign like the previous caller said, we can do campaign, let's avoid the That's why you can see the desperation of Tukuchinja Malozu, Kukanya assemblies of anyhow, is because they know that they are gone already. So Tuikatanefie, my WhatsApp group, whatever method we can use to deliver the message, let's use them to avoid kula kumana na abantu abale bonfya mapanga babale fumya abantu. Amen. So, and that guy in Kabwe must remember that we are thugs in MMD like so many in Mrs. The name is nowhere to be heard now. Now, police have reached out to bringing laws that don't exist. As Zambians, I think police must be dealt with. Today, the Kwama laws are what such police officers must never come back to police. Whatever government must come, we must make a law or even a petition to tell them police who reached the site showing in public to campaign for a government as a civil servant mustn't be near the police after this election. You have to strip them. If there is a law that will come to ban forever, must be done. Thank you very much, Honorable.
Thank you very much. Hello, Cora, please tell us your name and where you're calling us from and make your contribution.
Okay, this is Precious Inunge Muyeta from Livingstone.
Yes, Precious.
Yes. I just want to contribute on what happened in Chawama there at Bright Noon. You know, what I can ask you, I want the people of Zambia to keep those videos because we know that we are going to have a new government. So what is important right now, let's just support Brad Munduvile and Makebi Zolo. And what I want to ask the people of Zambia, because most of them, they don't know that President Hakainde Hichilema has another plan B to come in again in power. And his plan B, he wants to use Vagari Kombo. This one you should do not even try to make a mistake to bring Vagari Kombo in Tonse Alliance. Even today I'm still saying this. Otherwise, if you just make a mistake to bring Vagari Kombo, it means you betrayed the people of Zambia. Vagari Kombo is royal. kuri ba President Hakainde Hichilema. And right now, they've seen that they are going to lose. So what they have done now, they've made sure that they pretend like they are fighting with Wagarin Kombo, but there is no fight there. They just want to have a space so that at least they can be with Brian Mundubile, because they've seen that Brian Mundubile is winning. So what they will do when they come, they will pretend like they are with us, but they are not with us. At the end of the day, if you allow Wagarin Kombo to work with Batose Alliance, mark my word by Emmanuel Mwamba, you are going to ask me this day. You can even mark this day. You will see that Hakainde Hichilema is going to pass, and that bill is going to harm the people of Zambia. So right now, open your eyes. I'm sure you saw the voice note that I sent to you for Charles Chanda. Did you receive that voice note?
Yes.
Yes. So you heard the way Charles Chanda explained, and I'm very much disappointed with Charles Chanda, because Charles Chanda is the one who even told me about Wamau Sampa. That was 2023, Bamwamba. That was 2023, and I kept that record from 2023 to today. That's when now I even sent it to you, because Charles Chanda is the one who explained everything. He said the plan is to use Mao Sampa so that he can hold that party. Then on that day, after now we are going to what direction? That's when now they will come and say we are in alliance. And this is what he's doing even right now. He's busy pretending like he's a good leader, and these other leaders we trust like they are with us. They are not with us. They are with the President Hakainde Hichilema, because they want money. What they want is money right now. So people of Zambia, please get it from me. I know what I'm telling you, and I don't give false information. The people who always tell me information, it's because they know that I'm 100% green and I support Balungu. So even now, don't allow Wagarin Kombo to come in Tose Alliance. God bless you. God bless Zambia. Thank you very much.
Thank you. But I have a different opinion. If Garin Kombo wishes to join us, we should embrace him. Politics is about numbers, and politics is about recognizing the tides and times. My dear sister, I respect you a lot, and I respect your opinion. I will not disregard it. But however, Garin Kombo is such a political asset, and in my view, he should be admitted. I don't think that the two are playing. They've humiliated Garin Kombo. They've ensured that he's isolated from the National Management Committee. They were determined not to adopt him as a candidate in Mazabuka. He's been tear-gassed. His supporters have been beaten. He was attacked by people from State House. My dear sister, there I respectfully differ with you, but thank you for your view. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from, and make your contribution.
Good evening, Ambassador.
Good evening.
My name is Anonymous.
Anonymous, make your contribution.
Bamwamba, thank you very much for your program. Thank you that we're able to come and just express ourselves. The only contribution I have towards this is, I think we know what is going on. We've been stopped from gathering and everything. Let's all just prepare our voters' cards. Like everybody is saying, let's adopt WhatsApp groups, TikToks. Let's use social media to our advantage just to campaign to our level best. We might not have regalia. We might not have opportunities to sit and meet, but we can still meet virtually. In marketplaces, let people be whispering. If people are on TikTok, let people gather around the phone and just listen. Let's send our families and friends links to your program so that we are able to catch as many Zambians as possible to get this evil regime out. We are all tired. So I think my encouragement now is just, and also the one thing is to pray. Let's involve God in this. Let's not keep God outside the box.
Thank you very much.
And we will see August 13 victorious. Thank you.
Thank you. And for your prayers, we thank you for your prayers. Brian Mundubile and Makepe Zulu arrived safely in Lusaka, so thank you for those fervent prayers. Hello, caller, please tell us your name and where you're calling us from and make your contribution.
Hello, Bamwamba Mabombe, Niba Nameless Sava.
Make your contribution nameless.
Okay, thank you so much. Well, Bamwamba, I'm so pleased to hear that the two presidents are in good health. Yeah, it was a worry very much. And thank God that everything has gone on well. And then they can forge ahead. Yeah. Bamwamba, I have just heard from Precious. And Bamwamba, what I want to say is, with the situation that we are in, we can consider anything because we don't know what's happening. I think Precious, in a way, I know you have argued with her. Precious, in a way, she has got a point, Bamwamba. Yeah, I know that you are a politician. Some of us, we aren't politicians. But we've also got a point of view because we look at things, on a different angle. One thing you have to know is Wangari has been in UPND for so many years, and it was the right hand. And to be honest with you, something can happen. We have to consider everything. Yeah. I don't want to talk much about this, but I think partially, somehow, I have agreed with Precious. Because you see, you need to keep your eye everywhere. Yes. And yes, it could be also, it's difficult to even express myself. Yeah. Then another thing that I want to say, let me move away from Wangari because it's a very difficult issue to discuss, but I do agree partially with her. I just want to say that Charity, she's a shame. She's a very big shame to all the Zambian people. A mother who would go publicly and announcing and saying things which are so shameful. She's not even shy. Honestly, sometimes you wonder if these people are human or they are just the animals. If people, they have been to school, if these people, they have got morals or they've got no morals. Because what is she trying to show to people? She's just fooling herself. Really, Bamwamba. It's so painful. Being a woman, yes, and being a mother, I know what I'm talking about. No, Bamwamba, it's hard. Sorry, I can't go ahead. Thank you so much.
Thank you, my dear sister. Thank you very much. Let's keep the lines coming in. Let's keep the lines coming in. Hello, caller, please tell us your name and where you're calling us from and make your contribution.
Good evening, Ambassador. How are you?
Good evening.
Okay, I'm James. Ambassador, there is no smoke without fire. The issues raised by Precious, I think I concur with her. Look at the current situation. Can you tell me that Mao Sampa was with his uncle, Michael Sata? We have seen people, UPND has got very long-term schemes that we are not aware of as Zambians. So it could be a possibility that they confuse people and they know what they want to achieve. I remember Lifwekelo was one of HH's or UPND something. He was an official at the secretariat. But what made him leave them and to come and join PF is what I don't know. And these people, they have been there. Sometimes when I look at some of these things, it's now that I'm looking at things that the party PF was invaded by spies. And you look at all those, the Chavingas, Mao Sampa, and to say the least, to a Charity, those people, the way they pretended to be with the party. And you see, I was watching them embarrassing themselves there. So I think it is a possibility, but we have to be very careful with whatever we are trying to do. UPND is a party of schemes. They've got long-term plans, which we don't know. Now, so instead of being caught unaware, every time they punch us, we say, but what happened? We should just be open. There are certain people that as human beings we cannot work with, and those that we can work with. I know politics, there are no permanent enemies, but there are some people who are permanent enemies to, especially PF. You know, PF has been hated by UPND from the word go. They've hated PF, they've hated everything PF. If there was a way, even the projects that PF did, they can get bulldozers and bring them down just for them to forget about PF. But one hypocritical thing again is that they've been calling PF members as thieves, thugs, but look at them, the way they are welcoming them. I remember PS Defense Stad Mwari had so many cases, but I don't think those cases have been dropped. It's now a darling to the government. Vamao Sampa, all those people, they had issues. They had issues, but look at what is happening. They are all being embraced. Only those people who are not being close to UPND are the ones that are being followed at every given point. That's not how governance is. So I concur with Precious and the other caller. There is a possibility. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from and make your contribution.
Good evening, Mwamba. Leo Mutale. First and foremost, I want to say thank you very much for this program on a lighter note, but very, very serious, because your program was called the quarantine. So I asked some guys, we are watching quarantine. So what do you mean by quarantine? I said, I know by this program, even our wives are calling us, come home and listen. Those ones with cars, they say, come home and park your car and listen in the garage, so that you at least know that you are home. So there's no any more playing around. They are telling us that we should come home and listen to this quarantine. Thank you very much.
We are quarantining our people.
Yes.
Watupele kofienshita ni season yala po August 13.
Yeah. So, first and foremost, I would like to ask you this platform, because this is people's platform. You're speaking to multitudes and just around the world. I'm kindly asking that if maybe you can, even at school, I talk about revised subjects. Maybe this month, 2 months remaining, or maybe 2 months and some weeks, I'm of idea that maybe you begin to speak to the evil that UPND has done. All the deals they're talking about, the gold scandal, the mines, and all these deals, just bring them forth, the commissioning of toilets which are not even completed, so that the general public they should know what this evil government has done. This is one. It's a thought to you, sir. You can think about it. So look at the joking and seriousness people are, such as Mao Sampa and Charity Banda. We know Charity, and let me say both of them that they are comedians. But now my concern is, look at even so-called Wakateka is laughing to such a thing. This is how embarrassing this man is. If people have stopped taking him seriously, because first and foremost, when he came in, he lined up with 10 commandments, 10 not plans, whatever they called it, whatever he used to call it, and he has turned away from all those principles that he was saying that he would do. And now he's surrounded with jokers. Sampa today, nobody can take Sampa serious. Nobody can take Charity serious. And even saying, we are ABCD, the whole PF is in here. Well, and yet there are only two. We can go around. It was just in the name of doing a massacre. The party PF wanted to embrace almost everyone. But we have seen that this thing is not working. And people like Aruna Chadinga, people like Aruna Peter Chan, and the many others. So you can tell that this party is going for destruction. It it's a serious discussion, and knowing my brothers and the members, trust me, they are in this party, they want to take over. They are going there to position themselves. So the moment UPND is going to realize that, to be too late. Sampa and the rest of these people, they are going there wanting to unseat everybody there. This is another PF in UPND, trust me. So, it's sitting on a time bomb. Lastly, to do with the issues to do with the public act, which they are failed to sign. For me, it's this man, whether he signed it or not, Ambassador, I feel that he will go because for the past 4 years, this law was not there. But he carried on here. He never gave the opposition any chance to have the rallies. The only
thank you, Mutale. There are so many calls. Let me take the other calls. Thank you very much. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Thank you, Ambassador Mwamba. This is Sinyangwe Danny on the line.
Yes, Mr. Sinyangwe.
Thank you. I'll start with one thing. Ambassador Mwamba, you know when you are losing it, even your ways of action will tell that this person has lost it. Waya kumalilo, waya mkulanda pa CDF. Nishinomba, apamalilo ya abantu, waya mkulanda pa CDF. Olo, wa president balalaba, no one has stopped the former president to be given a dignified send-off. But all we have asked him is stay away from the FinLaw. That's all the family has asked him. We don't attend the FinLaw of your predecessor. But he wants to make it look like he has to be there. You can't force something that you are not even friends to this person who passed away. You didn't give him that friendship that you want to portray to people that you loved him. The family and himself, the late president, requested to say, stay away. Then people like Maus Naba Charity, Lesoyu is now showing us the people who are betraying ECO and the PF party. And now we know them. Ramwamba, you tell me after August 18, these are the people who come again to say, no, we made mistake. But this time, politics have changed. We will not allow that. Ramwamba, the fourth point which I'll say, I know politics is about numbers, but I've been listening to Patricia. I've looked deep down inside. If we have Maus behaving the way it is, these are people who are planted by this Imingalato game. So what, for me, as much as we need numbers, but certain people, Bamwamba, Kwangala na Wapatali, you don't bring them close. Because we need to be careful, Bamwamba. And at the end of it all, some certain numbers of us bringing them close to us can destroy the fight that we are doing. I'll let other callers to call in, and we appreciate you, Bamwamba. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Hello, good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from and make your contribution.
This is Shibombo, Ambassador Dominic Shibombo.
My dear brother, make your contribution.
Shibombo was problem to akwata fwevena Zambia tulalaba bwangu. Alami twala ko panono mu 20, I'll take you back panono mu 2016 when the church lost my elections. Maus Sampa, Edwin Fuetero, Edward Mumbi, they were the first ones to leave UPND, they were forgiven. Today, they've gone back where they belong. Nomba, baraba charity baria na babonseva Maus Sampa na bashani. Ukwasuko uli kumwenshini shule mwiswira. We are not even supposed to be talking about them because they are very, very unstable and unreliable. When the issue of reconciliation started, I think even the former Secretary General talked about it. To say, let's not trust Mao Zedong. He's a double-tongued person. So, kulanda pali ba Mao Zedong, the issue of the bill Bamwamba.
that bill, it was a calculated move. In my view, it was a deliberate political strategy to table the bill in Parliament and ensure that the bill will happen. Then later on, the president Asa cannot sign to portray a picture that is a listening president. These are politics. It was deliberately done. But they are not going anywhere. Whatever Mingarato they are doing, we are Mingarato pa Mingarato, we are ahead of them. Ambassador, work well.
Thank you very much. Other caller, please tell us your name and where you are calling us from and make your contribution.
Good evening, Ambassador Manda.
Good evening.
Thank you. Kaputa.
Mkwai Mayo from Kaputa, make your contribution.
Mkwai nabalira pokulomba kwa kashitaka kuluko panono pandifo kupanga kwa references yamu. First and foremost, intile ifilanda ba Precious Mubioeta na inamu in agreement. Pantu ba president hakainde baba pakubingokowa tabayiminine kano bachitecho balefuaya. Ichibi tabachitapo ifisumate chuba yimini napo. So precaution yapa tezi tusakane na uli omuntu bachiteshani na bamukanda wila. It's like bakanda wila baposa ule ya tole bale mukonka. So kuleta ba gari muchipani chesu kuno kutonse na shani. If he asks, be honest and say, you remember, even UPF, ama adoptions ya mumalekana. Even my MMD, ama adoptions ya mumalekana. Nang seba gari nkombo ba isa kweleza kutonzi, ba tonzi, ba chinshi pamozi, kane ba gari nkombo tupatire, iyo ndume bafumako. Bantu urubwelela baba bakainde uruboya talupwa muri bena ubusungu bwarushimye. You know when a bee bites you nangu nabafunya kalaka fangi nabakafunya chireta pata stew. That's how that man's heart is. Baba disappointed no muntu. He doesn't want that person to be ever happy. Katinga mwalifa kama murderers baba na mayo mufyaro umwana kashachimba tine chichupo nafirwa ati if I can't have you no one else can have you aboba yako nkana mayo bamwipaya. No, we don't want that. Kuti maneni fale konga shaba Makeb Zulu na ba. Also amu uli part of ubene Makeb Zulu. Maneni fuba una wile fintu kuli ba anu kulia natumuna. Eya papene na bala nate ko yumulandu nomba nje ko public level imbi. If you remember balandati ukwebele mfayano komutanshi mostly city member speakers mulandati ukwebele mfayano kwano komutanshi which member batira fe ukwebele mfayano ko mutanshi. That's proper Bemba grammar. Here we go. Morning. If you have precious batweva, if you nice but efficient bachinkula pantu boneni ba mausampa uko tuafuma tuapumpu ntana wo. Eba lengre chibe fie ba bombe shepo kutira kube ko ida conference ngani seminar ngani retreat, it had all names chila chintu chapa 24th of October 2023 chila chintu chapo pungana chatu pukanya ba PF mpaka pakulekesha PF ibai susaula yabo tupensha ni ba mouse mwasa walia miles ampawalia ewe chibanda chabo mfishe ukulapukanya PF. Aba observers biyambi pali PF yalanda ati ba PF yako itemina tapabe yako itemina ngana twika panga ndapa mwezi mpiti paramene taibula kushenkana. So ba PF abenero bako itotuma frictions mukati it wasn't a warrant for anybody ukuyasenda bansampa na bantu na bambe ati tuye ntupange conference yimbi kuno elo omukali yokuisafumya PF. Okay, tuchibuke nomba tuye kukuntashi kufya mupepiko pali lumo lwine lwakila mwileta gari nkombo mpepi and sule nfenefya kwa mwasafini mwene lintu bala kwalifya mfoya kuchili kulimfoya mfya balungu. Remember eli ashili akwa Chavinga and balabana mayo ba charity no niba honorable mwamba bali ba MP muri gone parliament baba mu UPND fija balonde lwelo kutira muka nomba nani baka bonfya ati ni charity Chavinga leti nokti ni chichete wachishi bati ni charity ko bonfya charity ko lolo kwa kwatiro muchinshi Bacharity bala echibombero chafintu fira if Miles alira that if when to yesu kuchita cleanse the president, cleansing him of what? So he had committed something. Na kwatefi kofia chintu chachita. But what I want to show you was if to mane kutira. Bacharity katongo techibombero cha kuchindika. She's not a vessel of honor. Chipingo chira kipendurira sana. So nangubai mi nafika palwalala. Remember PF na yingira muisamulia muri UPND. Okay, apana ponachi rusho mlando. Mwane PF na yingira mu UPND. Mwe bantu bakwalesa mwe bakuchinchira kwemyaka. Mwalai busho kwe batu mune late 70s. Nali ku primary school but nalebelenga newspaper. Kwali umuntu walelemba ifintu mu newspaper. I can't remember that day at Comrade Bonzo. Alini critic wa Kaunda's regime. Kwalina umbi walele mbati Kapela Msonda. Kapela Msonda used to criticize Kaunda na one party state yawo, but itale lumbla any political name. Ale panga sotuma characters to ako twin. And people were reading, they could see he is pointing at the president and how he's running the country as a one party state. Life per time Mozambia ila kwa taba tusoka. And then ya pite ya Kapela Msonda in the 80s kwaisa iso muntu kadansa ale nina pop mwebali mulusaka Pachech Road post office na Cairo Road epwale kwatila what I would call mukasubakalelo whistle blowing ayambo okulanda fintu still nipali bakaunda mu 80s nishituli bakaunda ichala pushing abene chiruba bese bachite bet for us multi party state asikaka dansa ulia alala ndifintu wa mistakes ya buteko ngala ndalanda wose na Comrade Bonzo wose na Kapela Msonda Kapela Msonda bale and if you wait for the Chikamuteko and what will be done next day, what will be done next week, what will be done next month, and sure in Gafia for Mafialeva AFU. So Mambokula Papa, Mouths in the waiters Nishinda Bomba, Twambokula Papa, lunch hour you buy lunch where I mean a palapene, Montuale and Doala, Balamba Kwefi, but Alan de Fishinka. Now, in the day of 2026 under UPND, I don't know what you all can say about it. Allow me to tell you the truth, Band. It has shocked me that if you're Alanda, okay, he's calling himself whatever. If you're Alanda, the next week, the next day, 2 days after. So what's that? Per time, Mozambia. Ichino chakubuteko chilelandwa no muntu ushiringirwa okupendwa apo jeje alipita mu fintu fingi sana ifya kutinya but inomba ukwete network ile landa ife dalaba maidofu bakachita mailo ifo chikaya bakuli mupezeni ifo chikaya bapa mwebantu bakwalesa ukwebele mfayano ko mutanshi they really don't have to be in a good form or shape after kadansa wa 80s alela ndi fintu firuko fyabakaunda nifo chinchi apo peneza twishibe chatutu bwisha bakabachiluba the squatters the mwana mwambwas bose balabashile tungila MMD inishibali kolomwela through the mouth of Kadansa. And Kadansa aya kuisa each time. Kapela Msonda aperwa kuisa. And the Comrade Bonzo now the kuisa, but Milandi abo brought things to light. So then, mwabantu wakwalesa mweba lefaya tuchie kwenta nji tususuke kuli muteko. Sumine niko FDLanda. When I say Sumine niko, just look at it. Change yourself ya alanda fya FDLTika. If you kuchita merge UPND, PF into UPND, ali filanda po you win Jeje Banda, honorable. I feel underpo. 2 days into after having said those things, Pachani Oyakwe, FDHTika, Nanyabo, Mausampa, Abo, Alangshapuna video, Imutule Tamba, Tibamani Bama, you have a Bama, with body features, good to woman, though the video wasn't clear. Go Alishokavan to Zambia win. Tuamuna Fiance figure. I don't know neka na mwene, but I'm saying tuamu na fianse fida pan kwa diwa ma comments. Na papa ina kwa kaputa kuno na papa. Ati efika chitikefi, efi ala chitikefi, awe jeje apa think awe pafi. Awe tawe pele, efi a chitike. Alanda pune efi bashitire nyoto kanefti no kuno kubadi na efi chitika. So in all these things mwe bantu bakwalesa. Nena alomba kumia kuchibuso kubapo with the bajeje balandira ti. Gari nkombo beka mleta mpepisana ba pibe ne mundulile. Last minute pene mwiyako bantu ba Gary Ngombo bali chita dine with a very possessive man umwame wabu kwa follow vale imbakale muneni mayo fyo mshani nchulire bafolo kwa bafyo sefu na achitabe nalanda nankobe na onse nishi asanzwa that's bahakainde ekyo ndelanda nikinshapa lekenya ababantu bayefe baleya bagari tubachindike ni bafelo politician nomba paluko lweso apo twala tuikele pano tulefayo kukunkumu no umuntu out of there kabine fipuna fyako mwine tate kamulya mushenda okafena fyo he is not planted there musakamana that then natusumi nyokwebati ngakuli ukuchinja obuteko kusa kama nokuvota nokusunga tukatozo tunyoto akuvota panti umushira wena wakwikali po tabakwete akante pente peka mushira tabakwete what's akante pente peka mushira the taproot mwe bachisungu tabakwete taproot ngana yuma kuchimuti shortly chimchikambo okulangisha ukuchita wither mukale papa no papa chichimuti chakule fichawo machinshirubene chalingirirwa nobubenshi kutuma taproots so if you take over UPND buli if you asokoloka fya fulisha elo mo file sokolokela you least expect it's a surprise ukwebati jeje banda aisango mu exao umsango wose mwatambire pamwera but nomba aba echibombero tule ufako nefina fichitika nefi apa nomba bakachitefi nefi nomba bakachitefi awe tetutuleti nefilela nda ba charity mwamba katongo nefu ba mausamba bachitire embuto bali efibombero bali kuba chindi kafe mwaba shafira fine PFE teti kambante na UPND bonse bala bene ba mlenga kampamba teti fibombe pandi ba mlenga kampamba bayo belati ba napoti ba pechwa cha green teti bafume teti bafume batina bafuma so what is it abantu balidia Filafia ndile mausampa ati judge ku South Africa kulia so teti mwishwe na babene limbi na balia chile bangu kirashani kukusha income finish na kale bali baba kuka na landa ba mwamba wesu na totela sana.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you. We have so many people waiting. Let's pick the cause. Alo kola, I think ni wamunkonge ababwera wamunkonge.
mukwaina abwera kuli ba Precious Njaske ko panono ambassador opona alambira abagali nkombwe niba independent member of parliament teba party president abakweba tina bakwata ama structures icharo chonse oro bagali nkombwe ngomwina Zambia bali kwatensa mbwisha kuchita indoors president over refire so bagali nkombwe bali beshiba kubena Southern province abengi so nga baranda fe pakano kweba tine na chita indoors Brian Mundubire na Makebi Zuru pakanwa o paradi yachire piriwurati bagali nkombo basaina na ama papers yako bamwe mu alliance ababa UPND bali ba very craft nga mwamona chinshi chirengeri okwebati babani nyekendo because bali ishibo kwebati indirectly uyu muntu wafire na sta indozi right because right na ba koroboi barera ndape right na ba kendo barera ndape right barampi barera ndape right so uyu muntu eba line na babantu ara basta indozi indirect ama politics sometimes na people for yaba bambi abantu barakane chupo ale pepare for echupo lesa mpere chupo achikana akano mwaume tiopa ntu babivi bagali nkombo tabakwete impact yakwe bati barasa bona uri alliance tonse alliance na pamoja alliance na bakwate nsambu isha kuchita indoors opposition leaders abalipo ukufuma pakano kabwa bene ngatu awera kunu ambassador ba munkombwe balishani bamuserera kwa kaba tabarefu anokutumuna mumenso wa PF ku Southern province kulya mwalishe wa Daniel ofo bali ba ambassador nimwe mwali bombere pona bena mulondorereko nabantu pamarasi but instero ya ishirefiko kwe bati ba Daniel munkombwe bese ba paramine basata ko ali ko bapokerera necho ko ali ko bapokerera cyari moneka ne cyaro to aliteka but nishaka inde ali ona wile pact ya PF na basata aona orailia basata baya beka chishi chatike but bangu ba munkombwe bali konkere basata fishi fyashitike basata bali tika so na papene bagali nkombwe twale tontore pe pakuliresa bushepako batika kwateko tuma votes tutatu ku Southern province tukachita shani bagali nkombwe bali bagali bali abantungwa ukuyimirira parali no kuchita indoors ba Makebi Zuru tapali umuntu ngiyobekara pansa mbusho kuchita indozi join a party awo endorsement bamwamba soli bakaramba mulondolole bwino sana nga bachita indozi bagali nkombo, which means Southern Province yonse abantu abatemwa bagali nkombo nga bachita indozi mundubire bamundubire bakasenda ko tuba vote 5 na kura 5 kuroko abantu abagali nkombo. So ababa UPND tibasareta na propaganda batumana omuntu kweba ba precious kweba timubebe atishirifi since belyonse barabapera ama information ali wino ifo bagali nkombo kurando kweba I endorse Makeb Zulu and Brian Mundubire tafikwe tenchito mu government yesu bagali nkombo nga babasara as a MP kumazapuka taikwete impact kwisa wana government yesu baka bafeni ba member of parliament baka rasta represent aba kumazapuka lero nga bakwate shuko ubuteko buri ponga bwabe bati ara abani ni Southern Province Minister ngafira basalire Daniel Munkombwe na bena kuti baba atabachite impact kwe bakibona ule ubuteko bureisa hawe tuikwate omwenso mwe bantulesa oto apepa eure turangana fyonso mwenso wa kumurwani ifo tuwara abashipa ufiri fyonse katushipe tuikwate uyu mwenso wa kuingira jo bagali nkombo barekeni bagali nkombo bari ana kukoti pera mpa parikendo babatana bagali nkombo tabapanga amakampeni ba UPND bari banning amakampeni bagali nkombo bare stashani ba UPND bare pangama ama campaign ubushiko bagali nkombo bare roleshako mwe bantu bakwaresa ba precious ngashandi tatsurira fyo waranda lero endorsement yena bonse katuipokerere tubareke bakite endorse ba Brian Mundubire na ba Makeb Zulu opona pera bamwamba bari liriashi koma irepo murande mwe abantu bakite understand position ya bagali nkombo na pera mkwai.
Thank you very much. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from and make your contribution.
Hello.
Hello, please tell us your name and where you are calling us from and make your contribution.
This is Muvita.
Muvita, make your contribution.
I'm calling from Kafiwe.
Yes, Muvita from Kafiwe, make your contribution.
I'm just concerned with the selective application of the law by Zambia police, whereby the UPND cadres have not been arrested. But you find that those cadres have been arrested. Why applying the law in such a manner when videos are everywhere to show how the UPND cadres have vandalized things for PF? So I'm really worried with this selective application of the law because such behaviors are the behaviors which bring about tension. So if we can have a police which can apply the law fairly, that would be better.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from and make your contribution.
Hello.
Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from and make your contribution.
Hello, good evening, Ambassador.
Good evening.
All right, this is MK, Pretoria, South Africa.
MK from Pretoria, make your contribution.
All right, mine will be because of what the issues that have been coming out regarding the UPND. So mine will directly go to the Tonse guys. We have suffered for the last 5 years. I'm sure they are listening, or maybe you can send through the message to them. We are going to be looking like we are a banana republic or a country of fools. This is what the UPND were crying when they were in opposition. What we are talking about now, they were crying. And what the message I'm sending to the Tonse guys, we are supporting you, quite okay. We are campaigning for you. We've campaigned for you, I think, for the last 5 years we've been talking.
You've never paid us. We are not demanding anything from you. All we are demanding for, I don't know if I'm audible, the network is a bit tricky.
You are very clear, just continue.
All right. All we are asking you for, we are asking you to come and change. I think your message is very loud and clear to say we want to revert to the democracy that we've all known. There is no democracy right now. There is no rights to citizens for them to gather, to associate, to speak. Every right has been stripped off. Some of us are calling using acronyms, pseudonyms, and the like. This is for a reason, because the laws that have been enacted doesn't favor anyone apart from those who are in government. So the Tonse guys, what happened yesterday in Chipata, whatever's been happening to people who have been put behind bars without a crime, but for speaking against an individual, against a tribe, while others who insulted, who have spoken so much about a certain region, are walking free. These are things that we want to come and change. We have seen how the police have been appointed, 10 provinces. All the commissioners are from 2 regions. Apart from, I think, one region has got 9 commissioners. These are things that we need to come and look at and give an eye, equal sight on all the issues. We don't want, again, when you come in power, we start talking about these things. When are we going to change as a people and stop speaking the same things? It's tiring, it's tiresome. We cannot be changing government year in, year out, but still continue speaking about the same thing. Here we are. We were told that we wasted 10 years. Seriously. 10 years we wasted with the PF. Do you know that it's only under the PF that industrialization was revamped? All that M-phase, the M-phase along, is it Kabwe Road? All these things, surely, is it a waste of time? Where are we supposed to be driving ourselves to in terms of development if what the PF did is waste of time and resources? What do we need to come to bring to our people as development? What do we need to show if the 10 years of PF was a waste? What kind of a leader always wants to boast, always wants to show? Seriously. You can see even how they are celebrating welcoming Samba, welcoming Charity, who are not even, they were not even considered as members after what happened on the 24th of October. Is it 2024, 2023?
2023.
Who were counting those people as members? What factor do they even carry? And you, as a leader with principles, who even boast that is a waste, you welcoming those people and even clapping for them? We need to be serious with our politics.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Let me play a short video. Mutale Nalumango, the Vice President, WK Mutale Nalumango, seems to, before I take my next call, I was on standby. Here is just a short video, it's just a few seconds video. But look at it. The WK Mutale Nalumango mocked Mao Sampa and Charity Katongo.
I know you are alliance partners, but where I come from, we even sing Samba. Charlie Toveke Chiwatu, Charlie Toveke. Charlie Toveke Chiwatu, Charlie Toveka. Fue veneba bute koni fue Chiwatu, Charlie Toveka. Fue veneba bute koni fue Chiwatu. I know you are alliance partners, but where I come from, we even sing Samba. Charlie Tobeke Chibwatu, Charlie Tobeke. Charlie Tobeke Chibwatu, Charlie Tobeka. Fue
Yeah, what humiliation. What humiliation, really. I've got the next caller. Caller, please tell us your name and where you're calling us from and make your contribution.
Dr. K. Montana.
Yes, my dear brother, Dr. K from Montana University. Make your contribution.
Yes, Wamamba. I just want to say a few things. One is about the relationship that we don't have yet with the Garing Combo, but our sister from Livingston talked about it. And yes, she might have been right, or she could be wrong. But the fact is this. When we make a mistake, there are two sides of a mistake. There is one mistake that is positive and a mistake that is negative. If we say, no, we are not going to have a relationship with the Garing Combo, and after some time it turns out that the Garing Combo is a good chap, he was supposed to help us, that is a positive mistake we made, because it's not biting us, it's not changing anything in our lives. But if we make a negative mistake of embracing Garing Combo only to find that is a more, then we have a negative mistake. We can't do that. So let's try to look at which part of Garing Combo we can embrace, or if is a person that we can even embrace. The second part is the changes that are taking place in Zambia and these new laws that they have now brought in to shut down the people of Zambia. Nachumfa, somebody was talking about we can be doing WhatsApp and those such things. Sometimes, yes, that's what we can do. But sometimes as a nation, we can just be defiant and say, these are our things and we are going to embrace our things. It's about changing laws. Mama na uloshirubwa chiteka ku Western Province okutamfya abantu ma hotel. Ama hotel kwatta balipiri abantu na kwatta bakamilipire. What was the purpose of that? To me, that is childish. Kwati fifa katumwa iche bale mupika mbola asenda bola ya kwati nenaya. That's not how it's supposed to be. Leadership, if you talk about leadership training, probably leader from nowhere, you have a president or a party and become president of the country. I think that's where the problem is. Somehow the country needs to stand up and say no to whatever is doing. We need to stand up and say, that's what I wanted to say.
Thank you very much. There are so many people waiting. Hello, caller, please tell us your name and where you are calling us from and make your contribution. Iyo sare tusunga mwe bantu bakwalesa landeni po.
Yama wale misunje ine sona landa po pali ba Garing Combo. Garing Combo tulefumana bo MMD pali yenshi bali bombe kwa MMD. Pali noshana balela ndulefa babombe na ba Tonse Alliance kapali ubu afya iyo tatule manapo ichinga bifa na babombera pamo twali manapo bambya bafuma mu UPND basayisa basabomba na ba PF nokubomba babomba bwino so ba Garing Combo bayesa fe panstation mana bale ingira basata indozi wa president bese tingacho tuirala bachakwe basefe bachirala ndaba na Lumango palia efe chaba ilebale milango kumyeba ti muri sipu batamwa kwa chamano lilamwa abajoina efe twale fwaya kweba timwe batambula twi efe chaba so muri filia fyonse basamba bakula seva lero nomba na kaliya yako kuyapira bamamba na tote.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Hello, caller, please tell us your name and where you are calling us from and make your contribution. Hello, caller, please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
tumina kurusaka.
Mkwai, landeni po.
Nitapo kushia kopi. Ni swali bwana kama ni kutibale na kanchi ikafeta pale landa position. Ama sote tu kwa tete but kontrola kwa pano na kiki na kwa kama politics yani ndio basi tayawe ni batwamisha kwa chano machia vita mtu hapa kuli kole na akapenda watu ni kwa pinga wani na politician watu wa chano opana tapo kisha kwa ile watu wa msho kwa chano ama sote ile mo kwanza polisi kwa wale wawe.
Our name, let me guide your proposal of requesting that soldiers should interfere with our politics is not accepted. The ramifications are well known worldwide. I think we have a democracy, and that's why we are urging you, civic participation. You participate. Let's use the methods that have been accepted. We know they want to steal an election. We know they want to abuse the police. We know they even want to abuse some sections of the army. But your approach, I can tell you, that's why we hold these programs. Is to awaken your spirit that the solution is in you. There are many of you that think that the solution will lie with the cooperating partners, ambassadors, but British, America, or no one is coming to save you other than ourselves. I think that would be my advice. Hello, caller, please tell us your name and where you are calling us from. Hello, caller. Oh, the line got cut. Please call again. Yes, caller, please tell us your name and where you are calling us from and make your contribution. Iyo twabomba shana imwe landeni po yaman mwe bani where you calling us from? Mkwai wa Lyson.
Ukujoina kwa Gali Nkombo kulivyo bwino wa mwamba. Aya politics Gali Nkombo lekeni ba join. Awa mwa sampasha nati pona bengira kubwendo bwa chimperesha. Mwamba tapali na political career ya kwepo ya pwila banaka uyisampa. Sampa ina tapali kwa leba muna wa mayabi ni abo ba mayabu ba nakashika ni nani abo ba kumweswa abo. Wose fe balya. Kwa Gali Nkombo tisho bunu sana ile ni nchipokeleza pa Rwanda fe joina kwa Gali Nkombo tispa mambo bunu lesale mpala mambo mpeli ashimuleta chira bushiko.
Mkwai, Natasha, thank you very much. Hello, caller, please tell us your name and where you are calling us from and make your contributions. Please call. We'll be closing the program. I'm taking the last calls. Hello, caller, please tell us your name and where you are calling us from and make your contribution.
Good evening, Your Excellency, Emmanuel.
Good evening.
Yes, this is Emmanuel. Well, I just want to talk briefly about violence. You see, it's quite unfortunate that during 2022, in fact, even before that, PN had been instances of violence, except that the PF then didn't have enough people care about them. Because these guys are very organized when it comes to issues of these people perpetrate violence, beat you up, rush to the media, come up with the pictures, post on all Facebook, all platforms of Facebook. They go to this radio station, to this private radio station, and they speak so loudly about how PF is beating them, and yet they are the one actually in the forefront of that. And unfortunately, everyone listened. They managed to portray the image that the PF, that they were thugs, were criminals and all that, and yet they are the one at the center of those. It could be wise. Just as I remembered one time, should be 2 days ago, there was a certain man who made a very good contribution of urging the Tonse Pamoza Alliance to invest in the media. So that whenever they have got a rally, if at all it will be possible now, because the whole essence of coming up with this violence thing, and then at the same time paint PF to be the thugs, because already have started saying PF have come back to start beating up again. Already they are trying to amplify on the negative image and the negative image they have painted about PF, which is now Tonse Alliance. Forget about Benamaus and Pande Group. They are not even worth to talk about anyway. We should now look at what is the next solution to this problem, because as far as I'm concerned, I'm seeing it's a very big problem. Because one, they want now to threaten the people so that whenever Makepi and Brani Mundura are coming, that crowd of people which follow them, and that is what they don't want to be seen. Okay? It will be a problem. People will be afraid, and once people become afraid to be attending the meeting, then they will start keep pushing a narrative. I said at one time that these guys they work with now creating false narratives, so that they can be posting on all the Facebook, all the Facebook, all the platforms, and say that you can see Makebi and the Brian Mundwe, they don't have followers. These are not serious people, they are jokers. That is what they are trying to do. If you have observed by Manu, they first of all unleash the facts. Then later on, if they release the facts later on, they can give an excuse to the police that we cannot allow the opposition to hold meeting because the environment is not conducive, it's not safe for voting to voting gatherings. That is the strategy they have been using. In other words, they have been using their facts and the police officers. We must be observing the way they do things. They have got a pattern of doing things. If they could manage to paint the PF with a negative when it comes to violence, when in the actual sense they are the one who perpetrating violence. Now they are in the power, they are using the police. It becomes even very, very difficult. Because they want now the Makepi and the not to have any meetings, so that they can create a narrative that they don't have people. Threaten the people so that whenever they are coming, they don't come in large numbers. Because they have, for instance, an unfortunate situation that has happened in Kabwe, where they have managed to pluck out the eye. Later on, if anything, if there wasn't anything like that, he would have been zealous. And yet he's the victim. That is their strategy of always play victim. You understand even the president himself. He always talked about how he was arrested every time, as if he's the one to have gone through that. The more he talks about that, the more he invokes anger in his cadres and the people who sympathize with him. That is the strategy that they use. It's quite unfortunate that we have not been observing these things. You know, they are going to employ the same system. You remind the time actually for the past five years where they have come in power. There have been a lot of instances of violence. You remember, Mama, during time you had the by-election, maybe just after 2 years after losing election. You had the by-election in Sangazi in Chipata. There were a lot of violence. Okay, Kaswende Mwanda was beaten for several times. Actually, they have been attacked. Even their supporters like Chibukuro was beaten. Just recently, we saw how a journalist was fought with. They were armed with pangas, they were armed with machetes, they were armed with even tasers. We are seeing all these things happening in each and every daily basis. And here the money comes as a PF have come back with thuggery. And yet they are the one who is perpetrating of these violence activities. Lastly, Bamwamba, I would ask you one thing. Is it possible that you can, just like somebody suggests, that you bring all the catalog of events, just like you giving some clips about the incidents of violence, during even that time they were in the opposition. Bring also so that people can see how much they have borrowed. Because they always keep on the people, just like anything, whatever it is that they are, that is what try to accuse others. In other words, they accuse others of what they do. They see others the way they are. It's quite unfortunate. Let me give chance to others. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Excellent. I already have another caller waiting. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from and make your contribution.
Good evening, Ambassador.
Good evening.
I'm calling from Zambia. I'm anonymous.
Anonymous, make your contribution.
Yeah, first of all, Ambassador Mwamba, I'd like to comment on what happened in Ekawe.
Yes.
I think what happened in Kawe is very unfortunate. And considering that the mayor of Kawe is a person with a disability, he lost his leg because I think of diabetes. And I would like to say this, Mr. Ambassador. I hope he's listening and somebody can reach out to him because his phone has been is not reachable. Honorable Patrick Sheller, sir, you're a person with a disability. If you have a disability card, if you don't have it, it's time you got one. You need to ensure that you can report these people even to United Nations, because the United Nations respects the rights of persons with disabilities. So they've taken away his car. What next? How will he be moving, Ambassador? So he has a right to look at it as a political violence. He needs to look beyond what happened, including the person that lost the eye. He can quickly get his disability card and also inform UN here, because we have people that are representing persons with disabilities, even including Zambia Agents for Persons with Disabilities. Yeah. So now, the next thing is candidates, Ambassador. You have candidates standing and people that are supporting these candidates. I think the people that are standing, different candidates, they need to change the way of doing things if they need support from people that want change and want the next independence in Zambia. They need to change. If they are listening, they need to start picking up calls, because we have people that want to support them in their areas. And if they don't pick calls, then how are they going to lead us if they decide not to be picking calls? So it's time they started picking calls. Whatever, if it's WhatsApp, whatever they feel it's better to talk to a person, they need to get back to the people and understand, try and ask why the people are getting in touch with them. The next point, Ambassador, is about Honorable Gary Nkombo. I think people have been sending something just there on your platform. They're saying Honorable Gary Nkombo was live on Diamond TV and he sounded very pompous. He said he's not endorsed President Makebi Zulu, President Mundubile and his running mate. So we need to look, maybe you could scrutinize that interview that he had and the people that are saying maybe he could work. But if he's coming out like that, people, we need to understand, what does he want? What is he saying? Yeah. So the next one also, Ambassador, is the issue of Chipata. It's whatever happened in Chipata is very, very unfortunate. And I think in this case, we need to look at this in a different direction. If the president was able to give instruction that such things happens, could you just imagine, Ambassador, if this incident happened during, maybe, if possible, we are burying our late President ECL. Don't you think immediately after burial, like he promised that he will get them, this is exactly what is going to happen. And Zambians must be able to see. So all those that are pushing for President Edgar Lungu's body to come and to be buried in Zambia, they should learn from what happened in this incident that happened in Chipata. Last but not the least, I'm also calling upon our leaders, President Brown Mundubile and his running mate. I think they should quickly put their house in order, because we have arrogant candidates as MPs who are saying they dribbled us. They dribbled Makebi Zulu's camp. And the same candidates, when they see councillors using flyers which for Tonse Alliance and the president, they are reprimanding those people and they're saying, I don't want to see this. And that's, in fact, they're even supporting independent candidates instead of the Resolute Party. I think it's time our leaders put their house in orders. I submit, Ambassador. Thank
you very much. And thank you for that last submission. it is very, very clear, like I stated the other day, that the Resolute Party is a special purpose vehicle for Pamozi Alliance. And Tonse and Pamozi Alliance are together. And in their adoption of candidates, they made it very clear that Lusaka and Copperbelt will be by Resolute Party. And the rest of the country will be by the national Brian Mundubile's special purpose vehicle. That was the agreement. So the legitimate candidates are those that were adopted, although some could be on NRP, UP ticket, but Copperbelt and Lusaka is for Resolute Party. You'll have a candidate, for example, for the mayor in Lusaka, who's a Resolute candidate, but chose for strategic reason to stand on NRP, UP. But there should be no issue. The confusion has been ECZ guidelines, where then we have to ensure that we don't fall foul because Makebi Zulu and Brian Mundubile are on the National Reconciliation Party for unity, and so the two candidates at presidential level are on the other party, while Resolute Party, you have MPs and mayors and councillors in Lusaka and Copperbelt, and that should be just made very clear. The other day I said I've got the entire list and I'll be dedicating time to read that so that we don't have this sense of indiscipline. I'd also called upon the two Secretary General, Celestine Mukandila and our Secretary General Zumanzimba, to quickly harmonize this. You cannot have two candidates in a constituency, two councillors, two MPs, two mayors. It's breeding indiscipline and confusion amongst our people. I think that was my last word on it. Tomorrow, as we come to the end of the program, tomorrow we have a fantastic program. Honorable Hari Kalaba returns to the podcast. Honorable Hari Kalaba will be here at 20 hours. Make a Date is leading the Orange Alliance and is a Citizen First presidential candidate. And he recently was in Serenge. We were supposed to host him today, but the program has been scheduled to tomorrow. He's making some major announcements, and I think that Hari Kalaba is a good leader, and what has been happening to him in light of the issues around Brian Mundwil and Makebi Zulu, is there a chance that they can work together? We'll put all those questions across our dear brother Hari Kalaba, and join us tomorrow as we host Honorable Hari Kalaba, Citizen First and Orange Alliance leader. Honorable Hari Kalaba will be here tomorrow. So thank you for the discussion we had today. Reserve your energy to tomorrow. We'll see you tomorrow.
Southern Province Police Commanding Officer Mono Namalongo has since invoked Section 9 of the Public Gatherings Act of 2026.
For now, gatherings of such nature are suspended until further notice. We will remain in Mazabuka to continue assessing the security situation. Police is allowed by the law to suspend such gatherings in situations where public safety is in danger. Here in Mazabuka,
Bayete Ingwenyama. The great tree of Yabangoni has fallen from the loins of Zwangendaba across the rivers of time. He was the shield of the East. He was our king. Bayete Mpezeni Hamba kahle Nkosi yama Nkosi. You carry the name of your fathers with pride. You stood like the great tree that never fell down. Every year at Nchwala, We gathered to see the lion. We watched you walk among us, head held high. Now the time has come for us to say goodbye. Go well, go well. Nkosi amankosi. The kingdom will remember everything. Go well, go well. Mfumu yatu, mfumu yatu. We will carry your name. We will see you through. Hambagate, hambagate. Go well. Your name will never die. It echoes to the sky. The lion rests in peace. The legacy will never cease. From the Luangwa River to every corner of Zambia, you spoke for the people through the laughter and the tears. The great tree has fallen at Mtengula.